Hello, my name is Soraya Kopi, and I'm your Montessori parenting coach and director for Montessori Center Ghana and its virtual school, ncgonline.school. The question in focus this week is how can we support language development and bi and multilingual development in our homes as parents within the Montessori context? Well, we must take into consideration that the child would be going through the sensitive period for language development within the first 6 years of life. Sensitive periods are periods in development where the child is able to learn specific things in focus better at certain times than at other times. And there are many sensitive periods, but Montessori highlights 6 sensitive periods, and one key sensitive period within the 6 that is focused on when we learn about Montessori is the sensitivity to language. The sensitivity to language is active right from before a child is born, right from when they're fetus in the womb, and it is prominent all the way through until they hit age 6 or come to the end of the absorbent mind stage of development. The absorbent mind stage of development is the period of development from birth until the age of 6, where the child is learning through absorption within his environment. This means that in the first 6 years of life, the child is just constantly absorbing. The absorbent mind period is divided into 2 phases. We've got 2 subphases. We've got the 0 to 3 year subphase, where the child is absorbing unconsciously through his environment, and then 3 to 6 years, where the child starts to absorb it. And so these 2 subphases are both characterized by the sensitivity to language and language development. What this means is that the child is absorbing language. He's in tune to language. He is ready for language. He's listening. He's learning. He's creating language through his experiences of language within the environment and through the people that bring him language within the environment. And so what do we need to do? We need to offer the child a language-rich environment. What does a language-rich environment mean? It means that we need to provide an environment that immerses the child in language and then the culture of language. And so we need to provide rich experiences of language. We immerse them in language and language culture by having conversations with our newborn in wholesome, proper language. And we also use rich vocabulary. We also describe what we're doing with them. We talk to them, explain, label, and then we offer dialogue through questions, and then we offer answers when they're young. But as they grow older, we offer open-ended questions so that they can expand their answers or expand the answers they give back to us. Closed-ended questions only provide the opportunity to respond yes or no, but open-ended questions provides beyond yes or no. It provides the opportunity for the child to offer us answers that are expanded in phrase form or sentence forms, or even in explanatory form that end up with further questions. We also should read to our children, and we do not need to buy so much for the child. All they need is human engagement and interaction, and you can give your child a rich language environment without buying so much. What I do recommend is to buy books, because books would offer the opportunity to learn, to widen the vocabulary base and to provide a wider an opportunity to learn about context, using language within context, and about context, using language within context, and offer storytelling as well. In order to provide bi or multilingual experiences, we can continue to talk to a child right from birth, because it helps to build familiarity of language and expose the child to a wide range of sounds and words to absorb. It is also important to use clear, rich, and expressive language, and to avoid simplifying. Children within the absorbent mind stage who are going through the sensitive period for language are capable of absorbing complicated words. And then to use the one native, one parent language approach. This will provide a fully immersive, consistent language through a native speaker or a person that has mastery over the language. Language requires consistency and mastery, and who better to learn a language from than from somebody who has mastery over the language, who has a hand over the language, to build a base for the learner or the beginner in the new language. And then it is also important to expose the child to different languages, multiple languages, so that they can experience language from other native speakers, and then to also offer them experiences of language within the language context, through experiences in art. It's important that we focus on building an understanding of language and language vocabulary before we start to introduce reading of letters and letter sounds. Let's provide the child the opportunity to explore and to learn, to name things within the environments, keep adding on to their vocabulary, able to relate this vocabulary in real life scenarios before we turn our attention to trying to teach the child to read. This would building vocabulary and giving the opportunity to use that vocabulary that has been learned will encourage your child or spark your child's interest in learning about words and learning how words are written and how they're spelled.